Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 12 or 14 of Beyond the Horizons. And the ending of today's show has probably left us with a lot of questions. And I have the man that we want to question right here, Psycho G. What was that?
What? Oh, we talking Sean Parker?
No, not Sean Parker.
Well, it's gotta be
not
what
Sean
we're talking
Parker.
about.
We're talking about
Really?
what happened after the main event with you and Romero.
Well, I remember after the main, we went to catering and got a burger. We got burgers. So that's kind of lit.
I'm talking about you attacked Derek Baker after the match.
Of course, you want to talk about that? Can I talk about Sean Parker first, though? I don't want to get that out of my system.
We have a lot of questions that we want to answer right now.
Okay. You know what? If you have a question, anybody in here, you can go in and ask it. I don't care.
The questions are referring to you on why in the world did you attack Baker after the match?
Because he's not the best. For starters. It upsets me that he calls himself the best when there are people that actually hold a championship in this company that beg to differ. I'm sorry. I don't think you're shit. And you know what? He could easily say, I beat you for the King of the Lions title, LGF. You got lucky, bitch. And that's my problem here. People like you don't deserve a spot on this show because you don't put in the work. You don't put in the work if you don't like that person. You're not going to say anything about this attack on Twitter. You're not. You're not going to say anything if we fight. You're going to shut your simple ass up and be the little bitch you are and take the beating. That's what you are. Derek Baker is the best bitch in Axis today. That is what he is. Now, why Romero? I can already sense that question coming. Right? Am I right about that one? Why Romero?
I think the real main question a lot of people are wondering is regarding Lone Star Showdown with what Romero did to Baker. Were you and Romero in on that all this time? Was that planned this entire time?
Do you want the long version or the short version?
Either one works. We just want to know.
Okay, long version it is. Okay, so after Axis Management threatened to fire me, and then did fire me, good times, Romero had gotten tired of it. Romero, obviously, big guy in our pro. You see everything that this guy's doing. He is the total package. The hottest commodity in professional wrestling. And on Axis, y'all don't do shit with him. Y'all don't do shit. It's the corruption shit that I'm talking about. You don't do anything. Romero had agreed with me since day one when I kicked Don Skull off. He has agreed with me. That is why he sided with me. He felt bad that I was being screwed at a Lone Star Rumble. Did I know he was going to attack Derek Baker? Yes. Do I care? No. Because at the end of the day, I did lose that Rumble, so the Rumble necessarily doesn't matter anymore. It's an afterthought now. But if Derek Baker's still a little salty that he got his ass whipped two times in a row, he can come see me. Come see me. Come see Romero too. Go bring your buddy Barrett. You can bring your buddy Barrett if you want to. Come get this ass beating. Anything else? You got I know you have more. No, you have more. Why I'm here.
Okay, well, hang on a sec. Okay. All right. I'll let him know right now. So,
Bye.
That was an Axis official. Unfortunately,
those are good guys.
Unfortunately, neither Barrett or Derek are able to be on the show right now, as Derek is being checked on, and of course Barrett and Priscilla are with him at the moment. But they did grab an Axis official and wanted to pass this along to me. Essentially, Project Vigilance want to get some payback, and they are challenging both you and Romero to a match at Purge Night.
A match. You want a match? Which, you know what's funny? You could have called me out on Twitter, but you need to go message Axis Official because you don't want to talk to me on Twitter. You never do. You didn't do it in LTF. You're not going to do it now. You know what? That's fine, Baker. That's fine. You're nothing but a coward, and I can understand that. You're lazy and a coward, but it's whatever. It's whatever. Might irritate me a little bit, but it's whatever. You want your little match. You got your little match. You got it because you're putting a guy who grew up in that backyard type system in a place where there are no rules, where there are no disqualifications. Access management can't stop me. The police can't stop me. Nothing can stop me. If you thought what I did to Dawn was an oh no type moment, when I'm done with Derek Baker and Barrett, they'll be in body bags. Kind of like Wicked Jay when I kick his head off. Because Shay told me to. But that's it. You know what? You have your little match. There you go. There's your little match. Is there anything else, Marks? Anything else?
Do you have any possible last words before we go to the next person?
You know, you don't sound happy. You know what? Why are you not happy with me?
Because of what happened tonight.
What happened?
I'm surprised you're still able to do all this stuff and you're not just fired again.
Oh man, I know things and I can do things that you'll never. Contract signing. Good times. Great signing. Now, my problem is, Mark, you're upset, really for no reason. I've not done anything to you. I'm not affecting your job. You're actually getting paid more to do more. So, reality, I've helped you. And yet you're salty with me for no good reason. But you know what? Fuck you. Because now I want to talk about my match. You know, that match where that one guy said, I'm going to do 2 pain thrillers to beat you, then got choked out. What is this? What is this? Honestly, I take back everything that I said last week, including that he can beat APH. He didn't last long in the ring with me. He couldn't do a damn thing. He is nothing. He is beneath me. Until he decides to finally figure out who he is nothing. You have a good day, Marks, because I can see you clenching your fists up. You want to punch me in my face, and I know you do. So you have a good...
Well, regardless of that, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Of course, earlier today we had 2 Titans Championship Chamber qualifying matchups, and next week we will be seeing 2 more, as we'll be seeing Shane Sabin take on the returning Bryson D. Gunner, as well as also next week we'll be seeing Sean Parker take on the man that is joining me right now, the Second City Soldier, Kyle Young.
Hey Travis, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you feeling, Kyle?
All right. Just seeing what went down earlier, but that's not real. I'm not here to talk about what G did or what Ryan Romero did.
Well, obviously, like I said, next week it'll be you against Sean Parker next week in our 3rd Titans qualifying matchup. The winner of that, of course, will be going into the chamber to join either APH or possibly Jeremy Barmore for that Titans championship. How you feel? Putting the chamber aside, how are you feeling? What's your mindset going into next week against Sean Parker?
Not gonna lie, last time I was here, I was confident. This time, I'm a bit more confident considering. Let's say this real quick, Sean. That was a showcase of your skill earlier against G. Not impressed. You said this is the real you, the real Sean Parker, but I saw was just a man that just got his ass kicked around the ring. You're saying you're going to make me go through pain, me basically suffer, but you did this. You did the same thing to G, and that G just mollywopped you. So, what do I have to be fearful of? Because if me and the rest of my, as you put it, stupid family are just losers or anything like that, whatever you want to call us, we're still at least honorable to say when we failed. We just don't. That's I got to say, but
Well, of course. Assuming you do end up winning next week, how are you going? What's going to be your mindset or strategy going into Titans Championship Chamber?
honestly, there probably is not going to be a plan. As much as I like to pride myself on having one, most because inside solitary confinement, inside essentially a chamber where basically everybody's allowed to do whatever the hell they want. I also don't know what I can do. As much as I would like to say I've got it all figured out, I don't. Because that's going to be one of the more dangerous things you can walk into. With APH, obviously looking to make sure that he proves all the doubters wrong and shuts everybody down, gets to that chamber with his title intact, and you've also got everybody else that's going to be willing to do anything they can to take the belt off of him. I'm just going to be looking to at least try to survive as long as I can. Hopefully win it.
Well, best of luck to you on that, Kyle. Is there any last words you have to say beforehand?
Honestly, no.
Well, thank you for your time, Kyle. And moving from one qualifier to another, next week we will also...
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Because I have a bone to pick with you, Travis. So why don't you get your ass back here? Put that mic towards me. Don't flinch. Don't flinch.
What is
I
it?
need to really understand this from you. You need to make me understand. How exactly did I steal this championship, Travis?
Well, you lost.
How did I steal it?
You lost a number one contenders match that means you weren't even supposed to be in this Titans championship match. So you take out the number one contender and
see, Travis, is your first lie. That is your first lie. You said that I took out the number one contender. I did no such thing. That was the house. They did that on their own accord. Do you really think that I wanted that for Midas? Of course not. Midas is going to be in an All-Star Showdown. He was going to be the number one contender. He had his shot and he blew it. You know why? Kept poking the bear, trying to pick a fight with me, and as soon as he realized the trap was laid, it was way too late. I told him in that video screen to get out of the ring while he still can, otherwise pain will come his way. Unfortunately, he didn't want to listen, so there's your first strike. I did not take out Chris Midas. That was the house. And while my gentlemen in arms, while they respond to me, that was simply their way of establishing their loyalty. Now, please, what's your next reason as to why I stole this title? You got another one, Travis? No, don't groan. Don't groan.
Well, again,
You
the
sounded
main thing,
so
is
convincing on
that you
commentary.
lost the number one contenders match. You should not have been in that Titans title match.
See, I like this. You know what I'm sensing? I'm sensing fear. Smell it. I smell it because you are so confident when you are on commentary behind that little glass of yours. But yet when rocks start getting thrown in that glass house, you start panicking. You start to get scared. You start to realize that I can easily choke the lights out of you and not give a single fuck about it. But I'm gonna intrigue you. You say I don't deserve to be in the title match. You said that I lost at 99 Problems when I made the challenge to Midas that I would be the number one contender for the Titans Championship. I never said that I would win, did I? I only said I would be the number one contender. That didn't mean me winning because while there is a plan A, there is always a plan B. And that plan B just so happened to be management giving me a chance to be the number one contender right in my hands.
I wonder why.
You know what happened?
I wonder why.
You wonder why? You wonder why, Travis? Shut your fucking mouth! Don't you dare interrupt me. You wonder why? Because nobody on this roster gives a damn about this Titan Championship more than me. And in order for me to receive a championship opportunity, they told me to go out there and prove yourself against Kyle Young and his little son. And you know what I did? I destroyed them! And they told me, well, you gotta do the thing that Midas couldn't do. The thing that Tristan Silva couldn't do. You have to beat Larry Wheels. Guess what? Larry Wheels? The wheels fell off your fucking body, and I may as well have broken your damn ribs. Then, when the chips were all down and I had to go into enemy territory and finally win that championship, I did something that Midas could never do. I got the fucking job done. Maybe it is your sick loyalty to Midas that you're sick to your stomach seeing me with this championship. Maybe you're a Midas. Maybe you and Midas have a little bit of a cult following thing going where you wanted to see him with that championship. He has done nothing but lie to you multiple goddamn weeks, saying countless times that he should be the number one. He should be the man.
You want to know something? No, you want to know something?
Stop breathing hard,
APH?
Travis. Shut the fuck up.
You know why?
You
You know
not get
why
to speak.
I'm so.
You've been speaking for the past
No.
hours.
You want to
do not
know
get to
why
speak.
I got so upset? Because that is much more than just Midas to me. That is my best friend. I grew up with him in Chicago. I've gotten to see him. I got to commentate some of his best matches. And seeing him so happy that he won a big opportunity, that he got to go for that Titans championship. And that got taken away from him. One of his biggest moments taken away from him because you got jealous. Because you got upset that you couldn't get the job done. I had to call my best friend, who has been in the hospital, who is home right now, not even knowing when he could return.
Are you crying? Huh? Is that tears in your eyes? Is that fear in your voice? Are you crying, Travis? Maybe you shouldn't be crying because I did this. Maybe you should be crying because your so-called best friend was too selfish and too idiotic to realize what was happening right in front of him. He had his chance at the Titans Championship. He had a shot at Tristan Silva at Lone Star Showdown on a post, unwritten, unwavered. The only thing he had to do was leave me alone. I had another way to getting into that championship match,
And
like it or not.
and
I
your
knew the way I had.
lackeys took that away from him.
Do you think I care? Do you think I fucking care what I took away from him? The only thing that I took
You
was the
don't
championship.
care because you have the title now.
No, 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 no. You see, that is where you're wrong. I care for Midas. I care for him. When I first got into this business, he was one of my first opponents. I cared for him. He mentored me, in a way. He taught me the ins and outs, the rights and wrongs. I care for him. Do you think I like doing what I did to Midas at 99 Problems? Do you think I liked seeing what happened to him when he got ran into the house? When he got his neck snapped?
Seem,
I like
it really
that?
seems like you did, because look what you're holding right now. Something that he could have been holding.
Collateral damage. I didn't want that to happen to him. I would have much rather have pinned him in the middle of the ring myself to get to this championship. Unfortunately, your friend Midas has a little thing called dumbass disease because he refused to listen to reason. He refused to listen when I told him leave the ring and nothing will happen to you. He didn't leave the ring. He got his neck broken. And now I hold the Titans title. This didn't have to be this way. Axis is complaining to me. All these idiots out here are complaining to me, saying that I did this to him. I did nothing. The only thing I have done is prove myself right. The only thing that I have done is prove each and every one of you wrong. I said I needed this championship more than anything in the world. Guess what? I got it. And it eats you all alive inside. So understand this. I played Midas's music tonight so I can remind the crowd what a liar sounds like. And then when I showed up, it was the first time that music was playing and somebody with actual brains came out. Understand this, Travis. Your little comments here and there saying that I don't deserve this, that I stole this from all of you. You can take those comments and shove it up your ass. You can take those comments and burn them in the depths of hell. And that's for Jeremy Barmore. This little title match next week. Guess what, Jeremy? It took you 3 months, but you finally got off your ass after that long-ass vacation. Bravo! It took you 3 months, but you finally found your balls to defend your championship opportunity. Bravo! I don't know whether you were scared of Tristan Silva, scared of Larry Wills, or damn it, scared of me. But you finally grew a set. So I ask you, I beg of you, come smart next week. I will leave the house backstage. They will not show up. I will defend the championship by myself. But I want you to please play it smart. Please do not underestimate me. Please don't take me as just a normal guy who cannot get the job done without other people holding his hand. Because that's not me. That is you. Next week, you play it the right way, we're going to have a great match. We're going to tear the roof off this place, and guess what? I'm going to win. If you decide to play it stupid, I'll simply take my boot, ram it through your ribs, and break your neck and every bone in your body until there is nothing left. And let that be an example to anybody. Parker, Kyle, anyone who even dares try to come after me for this championship. Because nobody has taken this from me. If you even try, I'll break you apart. Acknowledge me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, moving on. God. Moving on. Sorry about I do apologize for the outburst I had earlier. Yes, Midas and I are best friends outside the ring. We grew up together. I want to move on from that. I don't want to get more into that. But moving on to who I was going to go to before I was rudely interrupted. A man who will also be in next week's tag team qualifier alongside Zach Sanchez to take on the House. Please welcome one half of Taiji 2, the Toronto Wolverine CG.
How are you, Travis?
In all honesty, not very well after what happened, but moving on from that.
Apologies.
Nah, it's all good. But moving on, of course, next week, you and Zach, Taiji 2, will be taking on the House as part of the tag team ladder match qualifiers. How are you feeling about it?
I'm feeling amped. I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling stoked. It's nothing new to me. I'm excited for opportunities, fresh new ones, and I'm bounded for excitement when it comes to title opportunities. You know me. So the match. So obviously, what we just seen just right then, APH just talked. I'm hoping that he at least doesn't get himself involved into this match because I'm pretty sure last week he said that. No, the House said last week that they weren't getting involved with APH in their match. So with us, so
I mean,
hopefully.
I'm not sure if APH will be involved, but you know, it's we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Because APH is very busy right now. We have our own work cut out for us in the terms of the House. So let's. Me and Zach have been pretty busy lately. Of course, obviously Zach also has to worry about his match with Jay Mamba at Purge Night, but we also have to worry about.
Well, it's at Lights Out, not Purge Night, but that they are pretty close. They're a day apart from each other, so I get confused. And don't worry. But
my bad.
we do have Mamba here. He will be on the show a little later on to talk about that matchup. But how are you feeling about that with Zach? Not only being in the qualifiers, but also defending that high speed championship now.
I'm feeling good. Obviously Zach is getting ready for Mamba. Obviously he's had the advantage over Mamba, getting a win over him, possibly looking for that second victory over Mamba. Obviously Mamba's going to come back with a vengeance and all that after losing his 100-day title reign. So he's obviously going to come back with some revenge. But with the guidance of me, and obviously pointing out what Mamba's weaknesses are, when Zach goes on to face Mamba at Lights Out, he'll find his weaknesses and hopefully win the match.
Yeah, of course, you two train together a lot. I'm assuming you're training even more so now with all the big stuff that's coming up for you guys.
Yep.
And of course, next week, even if you do lose to the House, you're not going to be out just yet, as Zach's going to end up getting he's going to end up being double booked at Lights Out if you guys lose against the House, as you will be in the last chance qualifier for the tag team ladder matchup at Lights Out if you lose next week. Of course, if you do win next week, though, you will get to go to Catch Point to join the race as part of that 4-team ladder match. Are you nervous at all going into next week?
I am not one with the face of fear. I'm just the person who always stands, looks at everybody, and contempts what their emotions are and all that. It's been this way for many months now, many years. And I've obviously learned how to control my emotions and all that. When it comes to the House, apologies. They are. How would I put this? They can talk a lot, yes, and they can definitely fight. That's no certain. But if I was to put a little insult on them, I would feel that without APH, I mean, it would be a little bit, I don't know, irrelevant in a sort of way, but no disrespect to them, but you just can't take them seriously with all the promos they do. You know what, right? Obviously, they talk about.
They're
But-
arrogant. I'll give you that. I can't really say much else about that because then I'd probably be lying to myself. While they are arrogant on the mic and everything like that, they surely can back it up in the ring.
Yeah, true. But obviously, with the talk, now obviously, me and Zach don't talk a lot when it comes to trash talk and all that. We just let our talking do in the ring, obviously. So, if I was to say a final message or sort of way, if I could just get in the center ring.
No, force
Listen, House. Danny Maxwell and who's that other person?
Noah Anderson.
Noah Anderson. Listen, you two, you can definitely say and talk and fight and all that, etc., etc. But there's just one thing you're forgetting. There is one cash draw. There is one type of person, no, two people in this whole tag division that has definitely sparked a blaze under everyone's feet. That is myself and Zach Sanchez, Taiji-2. Obviously, we haven't have a lot of matches, but from our only match with the race, we definitely put a lot of notice on our heads. So next week, we are going to do what we say. We are going to beat you. Then we're going to go to catch point. Then we're going to climb up the ladders, take those tag team titles, and we are going to be the face of the tag team division. Simple as that. No arrogance, none taken. And if I did do a little arrogance, it's my bad. Thank you for your time, Travis. Hope you have a nice day.
Well, thank you, CG. And now, moving on to a man who unfortunately lost his, moving on to a man who won his qualifying matchup. Sorry about that. Slipped up right there. A man who won tonight in the Titans Chamber qualifying, and he will be moving on to Purge Night to fight to try and reclaim that Titans Championship. Please welcome the now former Titans champion, the Kaiser Lion, Tristan Silva.
Yeah. I know. The former Titans championship.
Oh, trust me, it pains me to say that, man. Especially knowing who you lost it to, but I don't want to get into that. But how you doing, Silva?
Yeah. Skip on the pleasantries. See, thing is, I didn't even get pinned to lose the championship.
That is
That's
very
the thing.
true.
I never got pinned. See, that the only reason why he even won that matchup is because he pinned Larry Wheels. He didn't pin me.
That is
So
true.
that's one thing. But see, you know what? That's okay. It's all water under the bridge. So you know what? What I'm gonna end up doing in this chamber, I'm gonna sit there and get my title back by hook or by crook. I'm gonna sit there and putting the knees to his face and everybody else that gets in my way, and then I'm gonna choke him out with the guillotine.
Well, of course, I think you shocked a lot of people, surprisingly, when you ended up making Bjorn Olstrom tap out. Of course, knowing that there are no last chance qualifiers for the Titans Chamber, if you lost tonight, that would have been possibly the end of the road for you. But now you got your big opportunity again. You have the rematch that you've been waiting for to get into that chamber again and go toe-to-toe with APH or possibly even Jeremy Barmore, because Barmore is going to be having his rematch next week on Unknown Horizons. That is confirmed. So now that I'm actually thinking about it, who would you want to see win next week? Silva there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
No,
Well,
mic issues.
yeah. Yeah. The rematch between Baltimore and APH, I hope Baltimore ends up winning. I hope he does. And if he doesn't win, then it's okay. I'll still be able to beat down APH. I hope he does. I hope and I pray to God. I swear to you. I hope he ends up winning. I hope Baltimore wins, because if he does win, then it means it's gonna be a big day.
Well, of course, you only know one other opponent right now. Well, two other opponent. Well, yeah, one other opponent at the moment for Purge Night. Obviously, you got the champion, which is either going to be APH or Baltimore. But the other man that is 100% confirmed for that chamber match is Jacob Wells. Obviously, you probably haven't seen much of Wells, but how are you feeling about him in that matchup?
Tell you the truth, Wells, he seems like he's a very good competitor. He seems like he's real smart, and he's following a young buck. But then again, at the same time, it's going to be more the merrier. More the merrier of the competition in the matchup. But like I said, hey, in that chamber, I'm on one mission and one mission only to get the Titans Championship back around my waist and back in my hands. Now, granted, yeah, but like I said before, I hope Baltimore ends up winning. I hope he does. I hope he sits there and break APH's face so bad that it make him see God himself, and then sit there and go down into purgatory. But at the same time, I welcome the challenge from Wells to be in this chamber, and as many as others too.
Well, Silva, before we send you off, do you have any last words, like any thoughts going into next week, or possibly any words for Baltimore or APH?
No last words. I'm done for tonight. I'm finna go prepare and get ready.
All right. Well, Silva, thank you very much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to a man who, while he will not be on next week's show, he will be here 2 weeks from now to be competing in another Ace of Axis qualifying matchup. And if he is here right now, please welcome Chase Adkins. And if he wants to know, I will let him know who his opponent will be 2 weeks from now.
Hey, Travis.
How's it going, Chase?
That could be better. I'm not gonna lie, recovering from this past Friday over in GTT.
Oh, yeah. By the way, check out our partners over at GTT.
Yeah.
Very awesome people.
But you said this qualifier and...
Yep. So next week... Well, not next week. Sorry. Slipped the tongue again. But 2 weeks from now, you will be taking on Jack Brooks in an Ace of Axis #1 contenders solitary confinement qualifier. I know that's a mouthful. But
very big mouthful.
You will be taking on Jack Brooks in a qualifying matchup 2 weeks from now. How you feeling about that?
I can't really say. I don't really know much about Jack Brooks, so I can't really give my honest opinion on how I feel. I do feel, though, kind of surprised that I'm getting this opportunity to qualify for the Ace of Axis solitary confinement, and good lord, that was a mouthful.
Yeah, I know. We got to find a way to shorten that.
Captain, we are being hosted.
But I am looking forward to this opportunity because after kind of making a stupid decision in the Lone Star Rumble, I didn't expect to get this qualifier, and I was thinking about what do I need to do next, like. But since I have this opportunity, I can focus my attention to that. It does give me an opportunity to possibly face Rob Kamen, who, in my opinion, has just proven to be one of the best here in Axis, and I wouldn't mind facing him at some point.
I would absolutely love to see that match, but of course, you do have to win your qualifier, and then you got to win the chamber to get the catch point to face him. And that's a very, very big task. But do you think you're the guy that's able to do it?
I think I would be able to do it. I've faced bigger tasks before all over my career, and I've managed to get over each one. They're not unscathed though. Each task was difficult, which each task should be. It should be difficult. It should be designed to test your ability.
Well, of course, it is between. But so far in the qualifiers, we have Stalker, Gustav Volts, and Chandler Finch, who just won tonight. Assuming you do win your qualifier, is there any one of those guys that you're keeping a close eye on?
Well, it'd be smart to focus, to keep a close eye on all of them. But if I would have to pick one,
on Larry Wheels. Trust the Silva, forget about it. You couldn't beat him on his worst day.
What?
That's why you pinned Larry Wheels instead of Tristan.
I think Rob might have shown up. Rob, did you even realize you were?
That's how you know it's live, folks.
I don't even think Rob realized he wasn't muted. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh my.
Who is the three names again, guys?
Oh my god.
Leech Mike.
We love you, Rob. We love you, Rob. Oh my god. Okay, well. Oh, Chase, you were saying.
I was saying, who were those two names again?
So we had Stalker, Gustav Volts, and Chandler Finch.
Okay. And you said the one that if I do win and I go on, and which one I would have to keep my eye on, I would have to say Gustav. He's very skilled, and he knows how to hurt someone in that ring.
And in my personal opinion, I feel like Gustav is probably the dark horse going into that chamber match at the moment.
That's what makes him the obvious choice to keep an eye on. Because as a dark horse, you can easily forget about him until he strikes you down.
That's definitely how he got pretty far in the New Horizon Gauntlet. I don't think many people were expecting much from him, and then all of a sudden, he got 5 straight wins in a row. And also a number 1 contendership against Jay Mamba for the high-speed title in the past. Granted, he did lose that, but he definitely put on a hell of a performance. And
he did, and I think...
And he did come back from injury. And just everything about him, I definitely don't blame you for having him on your radar at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, Chase, is there any possible last words from you before we head to the next person?
After that, since is Soraya gonna be?
Soraya actually is going to be booked next week. She'll be taking on Violet Turner. And also, we have seen Soraya in the past, especially outside the company where she won her first championship. Again, congrats to Soraya for that.
Yes. Of course, and another thing, this actually will be, I believe, her return to Unknown Horizons.
It is indeed. I don't think we've seen her since the Happiest Wrestling Show on Earth.
Yeah, no, like before that, however, it was that tag turmoil you held.
Yeah, the tag. Yeah, the Lethal
Yeah,
Lottery
that was
where
nothing.
she entered with Amber Reed. I mean, of course, there's a lot going for Soraya now, with a lot more experience under her belt, returning to Unknown Horizons with much more experience behind her, a lot more training behind her, taking on Violet Turner. How has she said anything at all about her return?
I don't think she knew about it just yet, but I will let her know, and once I do, she'll probably be ready to be straight to work, preparing for her match like she always does.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it, as well as the rest of the Axis fans.
Alright.
Well, Chase, thank you for your time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to the next person, I do have a special announcement that will lead into our next person. So, as I mentioned before, Axis will be having our next special event after Lights Out. Our next special event will be September 12th for Axis Payday, where we got 5 special Payday ladder matches, 4 of them for the men, and the one that I am going to be talking about right now, the main event, an 8-women ladder match. Now, it did say we are going to be confirming 2 people tonight. The first one will be none other than China Sage. And, of course, the next person that will be confirmed for that is the woman that is joining me right now and is just hearing this news right now. Jess Price will be the second entry into the Payday ladder match. And Jess, welcome to Beyond the Horizons. And of course, now that you're hearing this news, you got a huge opportunity now. You are the second of 8 women that'll be entering this ladder match to compete for a potential championship match whenever, wherever you want.
It's a big opportunity, even after tonight's loss.
Yeah, of course, you did take on Priscilla, and it was definitely a difficult challenge, but I mean, how you feeling hearing this news right now?
I feel pretty great. Like, even after tonight's loss, I didn't really see it as me going back downhill. I just saw it as me still kind of recovering from the past few weeks and Lone Star Showdown and all that. So this ladder match could be a big opportunity and all that.
Yeah, Lone Star Showdown, it was definitely a big task for you taking on Jay Jackson. How are you feeling after Lone Star Showdown?
I mean, physically pretty well, despite having that minor head injury. Mentally pretty well going into Payday.
Yeah, Payday. Well, Payday is going to be next month. Of course, we do have Purge Night as well as Lights Out. I can imagine you're probably going to want to be on Lights Out, because Purge Night at the moment, I think we're probably going to be fully booked on that very, very soon. But of course, Lights Out, that's going to be the day beforehand. And I can imagine you're probably going to want to have a big match on that show.
It would be a great opportunity again to show off what I'm capable of, like I did at Lone Star Showdown.
Well, of course, with Payday, you only know one other person that was just confirmed alongside you. We're going to be revealing the rest of them tomorrow. Obviously, I'm sure you've probably seen China Sage around. How you feeling about being in that match alongside her?
I mean, I've seen her fight in like one-on-one and multi-woman matches. But like ladder matches are a whole different playing field, so I'm kind of like indifferent about what will happen because really anything can happen in those types of matches when it comes to singles competitors.
No, I can definitely agree with that. Now, assuming you do win that, do you plan to cash in that title match sooner or later? Because if you win, you have a whole year to cash in for the title match.
I mean, it really depends on circumstances, like what's happening at that moment, and if it's a smart idea to cash in at a certain time or not. Because the thing about these types of matches, if you win, you don't want to just rush into it and possibly lose what you just won.
That's absolutely true. Well, Jess, before we move on to the next person, is there anything else you would like to say?
Not really, except I'm looking forward to payday.
Well, best of luck to you when that rolls around, and hopefully we do end up seeing you at Lights Out, or possibly even potentially Purge Night if that does come up for you. But, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our next person, the man who lost the High Speed Championship last week, but he is looking to regain it at Lights Out. Please welcome the former High Speed Champion, the iHeart J Mamba. Well, I'm guessing you're still kind of recovering from hearing that, former High Speed champ now.
Not really. Just recovering recent matches, basically. Let's see. I had to go to Osaka 3 days later. Lost my high speed championship. It's been my body hasn't been the best of times, but I'm right now. All I'm really focused on is regaining the title. That's not an off day. I don't think I was completely prepared or ready to face him. But, I'm not going to make any excuses for it. Zach was the better man. And I applaud him for it, but Lights Out's going to be a story. I'm not letting the title slip out of my hands. But, before we talk about it, let's talk about some statistics. See, the reason I put my rematch clause on Lights Out instead of just the next week like people think I would. Because really in season 2, I've gotten most top wins on either a pay-per-view or a special event. Like I don't think I've won an Unknown Horizon, like a normal Unknown Horizons match at all throughout the whole season. Which is...
Well, I think you might have, but you definitely have not. As far as I can remember, you have not had a single loss on a pay-per-view or special event at all this season. So I'm guessing you're kind of hoping that goes around for you as well going into Lights Out.
Yeah, basically. I'm using my big match attitude to maybe get the jump over Zach, and I did want to see if he was training him. Now that is a worry because he knows me a lot, like a lot. I've known him for a while, and probably one of the people who know me more than anybody in Access. So if I'm gonna want to beat Sanchez, I'm gonna have to think how CG and Zach Sanchez thinks as a unit, which is probably why I'll be watching the tag team qualifying match. see how they go.
Well, I actually do want to talk to you about something else. Now, assuming you do win at Lights Out, there is something that you're gonna have to worry about slightly, and that's payday. Because while the women are competing for a guaranteed title match, the men is gonna be very different. 16 men, 4 ladder matches with 4 competitors each. The winners get a case, either red, blue, yellow, or green. And inside one of those cases will be an opportunity to cash in for a Titans or High Speed Championship. Assuming you do win at Lights Out, are you concerned about that whatsoever?
No. Mainly because you mentioned both high speed and Titans champ. Honestly, I've definitely seen more interest in the Titans Championship as time went by. Obviously, when the season started, when I had the title, it's always been, oh, I want the High Speed Championship, oh, I want the High Speed Champion. It was basically Mama World for the first half of the season.
And then it just kind of seems like people really saw how dominant you are as a champion.
I guess people got scared. And they fled over to the Titans division. Gained some weight, went over to the Titans division. And I feel like people wouldn't want to go after me, knowing that it won't be easy if they wanted to go after me. I feel like more people are less worried about APH or anybody in the Titans division because, of course, they're Titans too. They can handle them. So I'm guessing that more people will want to go after the Titans as what I've been seeing during the shows. So the payday ladder match isn't a big worry to me right now.
Yeah, I'm sure most of your concern is at Lights Out with the rematch. So obviously, if you're gonna worry at all about the payday ladder match winner, you gotta win the title back first.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's gonna be a tough.
hell, if you lose at Lights Out, we could potentially possibly see you in one of those payday ladder matches. But again, that's looking a bit too far ahead. We're still focused on Lights Out. We're still focused on your rematch with Zach. So obviously, I'm sure you're probably not going to want to reveal this, but do you have any strategy going into Lights Out with Zach? If you don't want to give that away, I totally understand.
Well, I do have one, and of course I'm not going to share it because I know Zach Sanchez is listening. But I have a strategy. I've seen after our last match and after matches before. I think I know how to get him.
Well, hopefully. Well, best of luck to you in that matchup, and hopefully you do well in it. Maybe we'll potentially see the first ever 2-time high-speed champion very soon. But again, that could be wishful thinking. That's looking a bit too far ahead. But either way, best of luck to you. Before we send you off for our last guy, is there anything else that you have to say? Any possible message to Zach himself?
No message to Zach, but I do want to say, Psycho G and Ryan Romero, you guys are trash. Bye.
Well, he said it, not me. But now moving on, ladies and gentlemen, to our last man who decided to make a very unexpected appearance earlier on tonight. Sorry, I had to do that. But please welcome the ace of Axis, Rob Kamen. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
Out of character for a second. Really? Really?
That's low. I have to admit that's low.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I had to go out of character for a second. I'm sorry.
It was just too funny, man. I'm not. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just teasing you about it. But how's it going, Rob?
It's been a great night, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Very interesting night.
I mean, obviously, you did get to, just like last week, you did get to sit with us at the commentary booth to watch that Ace of Axis qualifier, and now you now know half of the field at the moment. We have Stalker, we have Gustav Volz, and we now have the man Chandler Finch. One of those men, or potentially some other men, will win that number one contendership and face you on day one of Catch Point. Are you potentially looking at one of the possible winners right now, or are you waiting until the field is completely set for the chamber?
Answer to that is simple, Trav. See, I'm a warrior. And a warrior studies all of his potential opponents for both strengths and weaknesses. So, whoever comes out on top in that chamber match, I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Well, of course, another thing that a lot of people are probably wondering now, after the announcement that was made with the Payday ladder match, how are you feeling about that? Because one of those men who wins the Payday ladder match is going to win a chance to cash in for that Ace of Axis championship. So, knowing this before Catch Point, we might possibly not even see you walking into Catch Point as the champion if they cash in beforehand. How are you feeling knowing that possibility?
Guys, look at me. Do I look worried? Do I look worried?
No,
it's not rhetorical. You can answer.
No, honestly, I probably should have thought about that. You definitely don't seem like the kind of guy that would ever be worried about anything.
Because you know me better than that, right?
Yeah. I've known you for a while now, since probably even before Axis.
Quite a few. I was going to say quite a few years. When have I ever been worried? When have I ever been worried about losing a championship? Because just as hard as I work to get the championship, and even if I lose, it'll be just as hard as I work to get it back. That's how we Warriors roll. If I win, cool. If I lose it, I'll work just as hard to get it back, if not harder.
And I could definitely agree with that. Well, how are you feeling about your next title defense for Catch Point on day one?
Day one, man. I'm amped. I'm amped. This is my first Catch Point, but I'm definitely excited.
Oh yeah, it feels like the gate. Sorry about that. It feels like the days go by a lot more quicker and quicker as it goes on. And now, knowing that you have your title defense on day one, on a show that's pretty much been billed as the stacked on stacked card for Axis. This is our biggest show that we have every single year. It's definitely a lot of pressure going into it, but at the same time, obviously, you're a guy who doesn't feel any pressure at all. How are you feeling about the upcoming matchup?
Travis, this moments like that I thrive for, man. It's what I crave. I love the stacked cards, man. This is the type of pressure I thrive on. It's the type of pressure that makes my bacon sizzle, to coin a phrase. Listen, when the lights are on brightest, and you've seen this quite a few times from me, when the lights are on brightest, that's when I really shine. You know, enough pressure makes a coal into a diamond, right? So this is just more added pressure to me to make this diamond, being myself, the Ace of Axis, shine brighter than ever before. So, bring on the stack card, man. Let's tear the house down at Catch Point day one. That's what I say.
And I am definitely looking forward to that. And I cannot wait for your next title defense at Catch Point, or possibly even earlier if whoever wins at Payday cashes in beforehand. But that's looking ahead of time. Obviously, we don't even know who's going to be in those ladder matches just yet. But before anything else, usually I would just say last words, but I know that you're probably going to have a little bit to say.
You know the drill.
Yep.
You know the drill.
Floor is yours to end off the show.
Oh, I'm going to have some people mad at me for what I'm about to say, but it needs to be said, and I have to get it off my chest. First and foremost, to one Angel Perkins Harris, the self-proclaimed almighty Titans champion, the self-proclaimed kingpin. I don't see any of that. You want to know what I see? I see an opportunistic coward who uses lackeys to do his dirty work and to insert himself in situations he didn't deserve. And I was listening to him backstage. All that talk about, all Midas had to do was leave me alone. Oh, he had a chance to walk away. I didn't want to do what I did to Midas. Please. Please. You may fool management or anyone else, but you're not fooling me. I'm from Jersey. I know a mafia hit when I see one. And that was what it was towards Midas. That was a mafia hit. You wanted him out of the way so you could have that opportunity that he earned for yourself. You are nothing more than an opportunistic bastard who's living off his father's name. Yeah, I said it. I know about your dad. He wrestled mine a couple of times. And let me tell you something. He couldn't beat my father on his worst day. And I see the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. By the way, APH, if you have a problem with anything I'm saying to you or about you, you know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. That takes care of that issue. Secondly, I have a bone to pick about the way tonight's show ended. What was supposed to be a one-on-one match between Romero and the best Derek Baker.
Yep. Ryan Romero and Derek Baker.
Yeah. What was that? I'm still trying to wrap my head around. What was that?
I can't really tell you, man. We already heard it at the beginning of the show. That's as much of an explanation as we got.
So we got the typical Psycho G bullcrap, right? Right?
You said it, not me.
I wasn't. You don't have to use an out of agreement. Just But you know my issues with him. This goes beyond the New Frontier. This goes back to when he and I first appeared on Axis. It seems like he's always had a problem with me, but now it's clear that he has a problem with everybody else who he deems doesn't deserve to be here. Really? We're still on that? I mean, sure, I proved that I belong here when I captured the Ace of Axis title, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about how a man who claims he's doing what he's doing to save Axis is still acting like the same pretentious, impulsive prick he's always been. And I have no qualm saying that to his face. He knows it. Because I've embarrassed him not only here, but I've embarrassed him on quite a few places. But again, not relevant to what's going on here. And if he has a problem with what I'm saying about him, he already knows where to find me. But I'd rather he find me in the ring instead of attacking me from behind like he does everyone else. Because I'm not Don Frost. I'm not going to sit there and take it. You attack me, I'm going to attack you harder. And I will make sure you don't get back up. Because when it's me or you, I'm going to make sure it's me still standing. And if anybody else has a problem with how I'm carrying myself since holding this title, you know where to find me. The fact remains, you can have your kingpins, you can have your psychopaths, you can have your wicked clans, you can have whatever type of individuals you want. The fact remains, I am on top of the Axis Mountain. I did that on my own. No lackeys, no backstage politics. Just my hands, my feet, and my will. That's what got me this title. That's what's going to help me keep this title. That's the difference between guys like me, guys like G, and guys like APH. They talk about reaching the mountaintop. I have done it. And as you can see, I'm still there. So, gentlemen, whoever it may be that wins the chamber match, whoever it may be that wins that briefcase of payday, I don't care what the circumstance is. You aim at me, don't miss. Or I will make you pay for that mistake. And that's not a threat. It's not a promise. It is far from a guarantee. That Axis Universe is an absolute. It has begun.